there you are. I had to refresh it. I apologize. I am very, very, very new to this, and I am not going to lie. I'm a little bit nervous tonight. So bear with me as I get my training wheels on this evening. Like I said, I'm EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I'm coming in today specifically to play with this alcohol marker right here. If you can't tell, I have a few alcohol markers. I might be a little bit obsessed, and I'm not gonna lie. My favorite alcohol marker is the Copic, but I'm gonna clear this out. The Copic marker runs, just so you know, retail it runs $7.99. The Chow, which is the slightly smaller version, is $5.99. And a 3-pack of Nuvo, let's see if I can get that on there, you can pick up at White Rose Crafts for $5.49. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a price. These are economical. You can get, they come in coloring sets, so they're meant to be blended together. So, really, if you're just getting into alcohol markers, you don't know if you're going to like them, Nuvo is my favorite economical alcohol marker. Like I said, I have a whole slew of them. I've tried them all. Not them all. I've tried a lot. And what I keep coming back to for my economical marker are the Nuvos. So I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to put my Nuvos back where they go. Now, I will a couple fun little facts on these. If you go to the Tonic website, they will tell you, Tonic is who makes Nuvo, they will tell you that there's 12 sets of 3 for 36 colors. White Rose Craft currently sells 20 different sets. I own 21 sets, and I'll pull out my sets. So this is the range of colors that White Rose Craft sells, and I'll slide it up in just a second, but I'm throwing markers in my face. The only one that I have that White Rose doesn't have is the cookies and creams, and I'm not gonna lie, you can't find it anywhere. Like I have searched the internet today looking for a copy of it, but these are the blending categories for Nuvo markers that White Rose Crafts has in their website. So the only one they don't have is this one right here. So I'll try not to use these colors, even though I'm particularly fond of them. But yeah, so 20 different combinations of colors are on White Rose Crafts. So yeah, I don't work with them like this. And I can put this up if you guys want. I can take a picture of this and put this up on not only my blog, but the White Rose Crafts blog tomorrow. But I don't function like this because I think if you work with them just in their trio, you're going to limit yourself. I work with them, my cheat sheet is this. So I have all the colors out by numeric order, and if you'll look in the pinks, they're not actually by numeric order. So, yes. Okay, I'm double checking my live feed. I have to refresh. Please ignore me. I can't tell if you're asking questions or not because my live feed isn't popping questions. Let's see. Okay, there we go. This is my cheat sheet to see what colors come up with. And I've actually got one more that I can show you guys. If you have a handful of Copics, but you just can't afford to continue your collection, the Nuvo actually blends beautifully. Hi, Allison. I just see you popped in. The Nuvo creative markers will actually blend beautifully with other alcohol markers. So I have a cheat sheet showing a comparison from the Nuvo collection to Copics. So you can actually interchange them really nicely if you're interested. So like I said, I can get all 3 of these up on both my blog and the White Rose Crafts blog tomorrow to so you can use them as reference. But like I said, these are the ones they come in, but you can mix and match them as you come along. Here are some of my favorite blends. So I've taken some from different categories, and like if you come down here to the grays, let's see if I can get them on my camera. If you come down here to the browns, I'm using browns and grays together to make really pretty brown collections. So I will get all of these up on the blog But you didn't come here to see my cheat sheets. You came here actually probably to see me color. I've got a couple samples that I want to show you that I did over the weekend to show how hard it is to tell which is which. So I've got 2 cards I colored up. One is with Copics, one is with Nuvo. And I think it's really hard to tell which is which. They're comparable colors. One's got a little bit more modeling than the other, but I think it's really hard to tell which one is which. This one is done with the Copic, and this one is done with the Nuvo, and I actually like the modeling of the flowers better on this one than I do with the modeling on the Copic colored ones. I think Nuvo are incredible. If you've never seen a Nuvo creative pen, let me pull out a pretty color. And I pulled one that I have to. So when they come, I will tell you, this end is sealed. I don't know, can you see that? This end is sealed here. All you gotta do, the chisel end, all you gotta do is peel that sticker up, and there's a perforated line where you just gotta break it. But one end is a really nice chisel, and it makes hard lines. The other end is a nice, oh, hello Esther, hello Tammy, I'm seeing people pop in, that makes me happy. The other end makes sharp, crisp lines, but you can do some of the feather work that you would do with like a Copic marker just by simply holding the pen further back. If you come up here, you're gonna get on top of yourself. If you want a lighter touch, just drop it back. So yeah, that's a Nuvo marker. It's meant to be stored on its side. I keep mine up just off of me so I can reach it with my right hand at all times. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull out, I have a blank one of these to show you how I color it up. Now I'm going to start with the leaves. Let me know which color, like if, first of all, this is the Happy Easter stamp set from Woodware. I think Kay is giving away one of these stamp sets tonight. It's a really fun Easter themed stamp set, so it's timely right now, and please ignore my badly putting it in here, but it's a cute little Easter stamp set with some flowers, and I called them daylilies, and Kay the other day was like, I don't think they're daylilies. So if anybody A can figure out what kind of flower they are, 2 points to you. And also let me know in the comments what color you want me to color the flowers today, and I will show you how I work with those colors. But first I'm going to start with the leaves. And I'm going to start in kind of a funny green combination. This green combination isn't the purchase combination. It is in fact two of the sets combined together. So I'm taking 2 of the, now I didn't write them out. I did not make this easy on either of us. So I will tell you, when I cut my boxes apart, just so you know, I kept the cheat sheet with it. Let's see, slide that up. I totally kept the cheat sheet. So I wrote the name of the colors. So this is Woodland Greens and Organic Greens. And the reason I kept them is so I wouldn't forget what 3 were intended to go together. So like where I have them stored, each threesome is stored in its individual cubby together. So yeah, just a helpful tip, but I'm taking 2 from the Organic Greens and 2 from the Woodland Greens. And when I color with Nuvo, I like to start with the lightest color, and I don't take it all the way up, but I start at the base where the shadow is going to be the deepest. So while I'm aimlessly coloring, how are you all doing tonight? Anything exciting in your Tuesdays? Tara is here. Hello, Tara. And Michelle just popped in. So like I said in the beginning, if you missed the beginning, my favorite way to use the Nuvo is when I have detail work. The nib in it is my favorite of all the different types of Nuvo nibs. And it's hands down my favorite. So I start with the lightest, and then I grab my darkest and drop it in where I want my heaviest shadow to be. And I really use a light hand, and you can see how deep the color drops. So there's going to be people who tell you that the ink deposits aren't as good as the Nuvo Creative pens. That's not true. Really, the biggest difference is your nibs. This doesn't have the brush nib. This has the bullet nib, but I like the bullet nib. I like having a bullet nib option in my house for when I have really detailed coloring to do. And I'm not staying in the lines because I'm trying to go quickly so I can show you a couple different looks. So that's the 417. It's the Hunter Green. I go by the numbers, not by the names, just because that's the wrong one. 413. So here's your middle color. The middle color, again, I just touch anywhere I had the dark deposits down. So that way I can keep the blend going. And I will tell you, I don't ever hear this enough, but Copic alcohol markers, Nuvo markers, any of them, it doesn't matter what brand you have, it actually takes a moment for the color to kind of settle. So the color you lay down isn't necessarily how it's going to dry. So now I'm going to go back again to that lightest color and just fill in the entire leaf. And I love this floral stamp. I've colored it like 3 times this weekend. I am not known for coloring florals. I tend to color flowers in a way that flowers are never meant to be colored, so thus I get yelled at when I color with flowers. But I like this one just because it's got clean lines and it's, I think, just an interesting view. And I think you can use it for anything. I think you could use it for a sympathy card. I think you could use it for Easter. I think you could use it for a birthday, a Mother's Day, fill in any of the blanks. Like, it's just one of those images that you can just kind of use anywhere. Now you'll notice I'm taking the lightest color all the way into all the colors. And you're gonna get some modeling, which I think is great. Now I've taken this lightest shade of green all the way up into the flowers here. Oh, I don't make this look easy. It is easy. And I'm not a coloring ninja. There are far better experts than me. Now, I've taken this really, really light color. This is the 408. It's my lightest green. And to show you, here's my green cheat sheet. This is really, really light one is what I'm using. But I'm going to take it and blend out right here where the green touches. So it'll actually help me transition from flower to leaf when I get there. Now, I will never tell anybody that they should own. You can color. Don't say you can't color. You just need to color. And oh, I've got a super cool trick later to show you if you don't think you can color, how to use alcohol markers to make it look like you can color. I will never say anybody needs any set, but you got to have one. You got to have the depth and shadow set. It's got the black, which I never use. It's got this very, very pale feather gray, which is a beautiful shadow color on white cardstock. But the thing you've got to have is this blending pen because it is your magic eraser. So if you can see here, I've got green in my leaf here. Now, normally it wouldn't bother me because I'm going to come back in, but your magic eraser can pull it back out. See how that's just disappeared on us? So, super easy coloring. You'll notice it's not perfect, but yet, guys, this isn't a framed masterpiece. It's a card. And while we want our cards to look beautiful, they don't need to be perfect. Did I get any color suggestions to do the flowers? I don't think anybody dropped what color they want to actually see me color them, so now I get to pick. Woohoo! So I'm going to pull out something. Ooh, no, I'm going to pull out my favorite color combination. And it still will be flower-esque. I'm pulling out the Coral Reef, and it's the pink grapefruit, tiger lily, plum, and it's a really cool combination. I really like how it goes. Oh, see, Sammy said pink, so I'm almost doing pink. I'm doing coral. So again, I'm going to start at, I'm going to cheat real quick. I'm going to grab yellow, coloring around this, see, this is where I'm not a floral person. Coloring around the stamen is really, really hard. So I'm just going to cheat and color it really bright, obnoxious yellow. There you go. And actually just go right over it. So I'm going to make this so the tips of the flowers are my darkest and the base of it is my lightest. So here we go. I'm just going to pull the lightest color down. And you'll notice I'm not being the queen of clean. That's because you don't need to be with alcohol markers, because they blend into each other and save you all kinds of heartache and headaches. That maybe should have been green. Oh well. That one definitely should have been green. I'll come back. That's going to drive me nuts. Now you'll notice I'm going to totally cheat here. I'm just going to correct my error by flicking up. Now, if you'll notice, I'm not, here's the one I want. I'm not coloring like this. I'm dropping and giving it some flicks up. So I'm using more of the side of the nib than I am the top of it. There we go. Back to my coral. And like I said, I love these flowers. So, for anybody who thinks I might be... Oh, okay, so I'm seeing a comment on paper. I use Nina cardstock. I order it from Amazon. This is the 110 pound, I believe. I like the really thick stuff. It's what I use to make my card frames. It's the same cardstock I cut my card frames out of. And I just like how thick and heavy it is, but it blends. I have found with, regardless of what alcohol marker you use, this is, I like the purples from this brand. See, Allison's asking me a question. I'm going to come back to my cheat sheet. I like the purples from this brand. So for anybody who doesn't know, there's 3 different purples. There's this hazy mauve, there's the royal purple, and there's the Palma violets. And I'm not crazy at all with how the 3 of them come together, but I adore how I can make the 3 of them look when I have all 9 of them. So my favorite purple would be the royal purple if I'm just going with the sets, but I really like how you can play with the purples together and make some really cool combinations. But I like the purples. I actually think the purples for this set are better than the purples for Copic. I've never been a fan of the purple combinations for Copic. Okay, back to this. So I've got my lightest color laid down, and you notice I've let it sit for just a couple minutes. I'm taking the darkest, which is this cool plum, it's not cool, which is this very warm plum tomato. And I am going to kind of swivel around the edges and drop. I'm not even worrying about shadows. I am just coloring flowers. And you'll notice I'm not overtly concerned here with perfection, because as I can start blending things out, I will correct so much of my error. So I will tell you guys, I went to get my iPad tonight so I could set it up and read comments. One of my small children got a hold of my iPad today, and it is dead to the world. Now, I fortunately have my giant Mac computer set up right next to where I work, because I also write up from here. So I have got my giant computer set up to show me live stream and your all's comments, but I'm having to really look to the left. So I apologize if I miss... Yeah, I have a hard time blending Copic purples too. So here's the middle tone. This is where the magic begins, is in the middle color. It's not in the first color, it's not in the dark color, it's in the middle color. And when I blend with these, I use little round circles and just kind of pull it down. So I'm touching into the darkest and then dropping low into it. Now, I said this earlier, Copic, or any kind of alcohol marker. I say Copic just because that's become like the Q-tip of alcohol markers. We all say Copic no matter what. Nuvo with the creative markers. any kind of alcohol marker, it takes just a minute for the color to set and breathe. So I sometimes will color something up and set it aside for 15 minutes and let everything dry up, and then take a look and see if anything needs a touch of prettiness. So remember, I colored these darker than I wanted them. That's because I knew I was going to intentionally go over them. There we go, pulling them down. So the magic begins in the middle color, but it finalizes and the trick is performed when you bring back out the lightest again. So again, using kind of small circles, I'm going to pull from the medium tone down into the empty space. There you go. And if I want that cool modeling where it's kind of rough, I'll come back up with the lightest color into the darkest, and that, because this has got more alcohol in it than the darkest does, it will create that modeling effect. And I like how when I color over that super, super yellow, it becomes reasonable. So again, just little circles. I know when you're using like a Copic, it's a flick technique. You don't quite have the flexibility. I mean, you can flick. I just find that little circle really helps create the blend. It's one of the reasons I think these are so user-friendly, is you don't need a classic flick technique to make them really stable. Ta-da! So remember when we colored the leaves, I flicked some of that really, really light 408 up into the flower. I'm going to bring it back now. And from the green into that coral color, I'm just going to flick it back up, just to help the blend between my flower. Oh yeah, I love this color. This is one of my favorite combinations. This and one of the aquas. I'll show you in a sec. Let me just get this. Here we go. Oh yeah, don't do what I do. Don't get marker on your finger and then get it on your thing. But the reason you want that blender so what it's really doing is pushing it. So what I'm trying to do is push it to disperse it so it's not obvious. So what was a really, really ugly smudge, because I can't help but get dirty when I work, becomes somewhat reasonable. And if you're not happy with how dark these came out, take that blender and just touch in there. Yeah. And the other reason I really, really love the, there it is again. Here's one I haven't opened up. I like the chisel on this one. It's really sturdy. I mean, it's really, really sturdy. Okay, pop it. Chisel's super sturdy, and one of the reasons I like it is because you can do this. How satisfying is that? No, seriously, like, I find that seriously satisfying. And now you're simply ready to throw it on a card. See, I prepped a card for you guys tonight. This is the Lemoncraft Daydream 6x6 paper pack. It's the same thing I've got under all the samples. There you go. So there's 3. So both of these are done with the Nuvo Creative Pen. Oh yeah, see, I didn't go around the edges here, but I definitely, like, it's one of the coolest tricks. Okay, I started with the Spectrum Noir. I actually have, so when Kay says she started with the Spectrum Noir, she went with this one. This is so clunky. This is incredibly clunky. And again, it just has the bullet nib and the chisel. They came out later with an illustrator, which has got a bullet nib on one side and the brush tip on the other. The colors are fine. They're not great, but this is so clunky in my hand. Whereas like the Nuvo, especially when I'm working with the bullet side, it's just, it fits in there and it settles in there, and I really, really like it. Hi, Annie! So yeah, first two. Now, again, I'm not the colorist of colors for florals. I just pulled them out because it allows me to play with some of these really, really bright, pretty colors. Oh, I started to say the aqua is my favorite. So this is the coral reef. This is what I just used. My second favorite color combination is this one. It's the aquamarine. Like, so both of them. Now, if you like bright yellows, sunshine yellow is great. Oh, there's so many pretty colors. There isn't a bold, bright green, but if you combine the aquas and the greens, you can get some bold, bright greens. So like that is a combination of teals and greens, and you get that bold, bright green you want. I like the blues. I like that you have a light blue and a dark blue. I like the pinks because they're not obnoxious. I sometimes think the Copic ones are very, very obnoxious. So yes. And I love the red. This is where I started. Kay had in a kit, I think 2 Christmases ago, 2019, she put in the rich reds, and that's what started me with the Nuvo creative markers. And then I got myself a handful more, and this last Christmas I gifted myself the rest of the collection because, you know what? I was tired of working with limited ones, and I really, really liked how we worked. So I started to say I am not known for my florals. Like, there are people who can color florals and be amazing. I, on the other hand, really, really, really like coloring animals. So this is the All-in Create. Here we go. It's the All-in Create Squeaker Friends, Squeaker Friends. See, I wrote this down. Squeaky Friends. But I love coloring animals. I think they're fun. Now, fun story. This one's colored in Copics. This one's colored in Nuvo. I think this one's better because I had a little bit more control of my tip, and my atmosphere really turned out great. So do you guys want to see how I colored this one? Because I've got one of these too. Yes, the reds were my gateway drug. Kay's 100% correct. So I've got some Squeaky Friends. Does somebody want to see a color combination that's just fun? Like if you want to see like blues or something and I can color one of the squirrels blue. So throw out what color combination you want to see and I'll just go crazy. I'll start with gray because the grays can be a little tricky. So this is the lightest gray. This is the one that comes in the depth and shadow. It's the blender pack. And then I'm going to pull, what is it, 95 and 87? 87 and 97. So this is from Pebble and Stone. This is from Stormy Grays, and this is from Shadow and Depth. So I'm going to pull all 3 of them to color this little angry guy. And by the way, my favorite thing about the stamp set is there is a sentiment that's nothing but swear words. Maybe that's inappropriate, but I love the little asterisk of swear words. Maybe because I'm a swear word woman. And on that note, yes, All-in Create. Here. Where did I put it? I'll leave it there so you can see it. All-in Create, Squeaky and Friends. Squeaky and Friends, Kay. There's his name, but I'll leave him right there for you until I bump it 42 times. So this is the very lightest gray. This is the 485 Feather Gray. And I am just going to very quickly color him in, like super fast. Not even gonna worry about his nose, and if I get it in his mouth, we'll all live. So again, if you wanna see any of the color combinations, I can color him that. And we can have a hot pink or a baby blue or a bright yellow squirrel. That's cool. It's crafting. There are no rules. So this guy, we're going to do some flicking. I'm going to come into the tip of his tail right where the stamp is and just flick up. And then same thing at the base. Now I'm imagining the sun is coming from here. So if you, see if I can get my light to do it and on camera. So the sun is so my bright is here, so my shadows will all come up this way. I don't know. I want to put an arrow, but I don't want to ruin it. Oh wait, there's my sun source. So here I'm going to just drop in some shadow. He'll have a little shadow around his arm. You'll color up his arm. His mouth will have a little shadow around his neck, because let's be honest, he might look like a square blob, but he actually has a little shadowing there. He's got some shadowing here. He's got a little on his ears. And then this leg is the tricky one. So he's going to have some shadowing here, but there's no line there, but he actually would have shadowing through here. So there you go. Literally just using this one. Oh yeah, no, he has swear words. It's fantastic. I think Kay has, actually, if you haven't looked at Kay's sentiment stamps lately, there's a whole lot that are snarky. If you enjoy a good old snarky stamp, you're in luck. Okay, so we've got the tail. Like I said, the magic doesn't begin with the light color. The magic doesn't begin with the dark color. It begins in your mid-tone. And again, I'm going to try a little flicking. And then just come back with a little circling. And then again, flicking. And a little circling. The tail, to me, is where the magic is. And anywhere I've got that kind of deep, dark shadow, I'm going to bring back in this mid-tone and see if I can create some depth to him. And simply by drawing this lineup, you can start to see, oh, I love this set. This is one of my favorites, Annie. I've had this one for a while, and anytime my mom gets mad at me, I send her a card with one of these. She doesn't find it nearly as funny as I do. So, the magic has begun with the middle toned. Now we're coming back in with the light. And to keep that tail fun and awesome, more flicking. And you'll notice here with his little belly, because I've got a big white spot. Now I'm going to reiterate, I am not the queen of this. There are so many colorists out there that are far better than me. But this is what got me into card making, was simply relaxing and coloring. I couldn't get into the coloring book trend. Like, I like the idea of it, but it just didn't go anywhere for me. Kay just posted a really fun one. This is her favorite sentiment stamp right now. It's the, I know, what is it? Let me see if I can read it. I've never been a millionaire, but I definitely know I'd be darling at it. It cracks me up. She and I were giggling about that today. So yeah, there's your first little squirrely friend. And like I said, the grays can be tricky, but I like how the grays actually have a bit of brown undertone to it. I just have a pile of markers over here. Yeah, see, they're all starting to storm, and I have a pile of markers over here that I'm now trying to push away. Did we come up with a color? Did somebody like throw out a color they wanted to see colored up? I know somebody said a cool color earlier. Or do you want to see me color him brown? See, I'm looking and I'm waiting. While I'm waiting, I'm going to finish his little mouth off. So this is the darkest color. Like if you think in terms of Copic, it's a C7. It's a nice, really dark gray. And that's all I do. Like, that's all I'm doing too. I'm not going to go in there and be like super fancy. The stamp set is Squeaky Friends. And actually, these are the other really great image in it is them helping each other climb. It's very cute. So yeah, color the mouth in. No one suggested a color, so let's play with, I did an orange earlier. I'm going to pull out green here in a minute. Let's do a blue. I know, there's not supposed to be blue squirrels, but tonight there is. So this is the, I pulled out 3 in a set together. So this is the Marina Blues. It's got a sky blue, it's got a forget-me-not blue, and it's got this baritone blue. It's a nice, bright sky blue color. And I'm actually going to teach you a really cool trick before we, let me color him. So again, we're coloring a blue squirrel. So I find with the really light Nuvo colors, you need just a little bit more ink because they're really, really alcohol-y. So you need just a bit more ink than you would with the dark tones. But you know what? That's true with my Copics as well. When I get really light, I find I have a very heavy hand. I kind of like him blue. So now I'm going to take the darkest again and just create my shadows. So I'm going to flick up in here, but I've also got to drop in some elbow shadows. There we go. Create some shadows around the leg here, under the arm, in the arm, around the face. Color him in. He's got a neck, which we should shadow. There's some under his armpit here, but there's also some in this arm. And then we're going to create a leg here. Even though the artist didn't create one, it works better if you do. So there we go. And I know, like, to go from this very, very light blue to this very, very dark blue, it doesn't seem like it's going to be possible, but it is. So now we're going to and again, it's that small little circle motion. By the way, I'd like to commend my 3 children. They haven't barged in here and asked if they can have ice cream. My kids are 10, what are they, 10, 12, and 15. And apparently one is not capable of having ice cream unless one has asked mom 8 times if one can have it. I will tell you, I turn my images when I color, so keeping it upright and pretty, it's a little challenging. I don't hate the blue squirrel. Okay, back to the lightest color. Now, you gotta work this one a little bit. Not gonna lie here, there's a little working here, and you really kind of gotta go down to the darker colors and allow that modeling effect to happen. But when you do, the magic begins. If you feel you're not getting blends, blend more. That's kind of the key here, is don't be afraid to really push back, because you can always add more dark. I'm sorry, I got brain, I like coloring. No, I got into coloring cards and coloring cool stamps because I just couldn't get into coloring books. It didn't feel like there was anything to do with it. Like, I enjoy an art journal, but that's because I can go back and flip through it. Coloring book, I just couldn't. Let's see. He looks so happy. You guys are a quiet group tonight. See, if you let me just sit and color, I will. Now, I will tell you, with this, let me pull the originals back out. With this, it's just 2 colors of green dropped into it, 1 branch color, and 2 colors of brown dropped into it. There is no need to get fancy-wancy when coloring this. But do you guys want to see how I do the grass? The grass is a really fun technique. And it's stupid easy. Let me pull out some greens. My greens are now buried at the bottom of my marker pile here. Is my marker pile invading? My marker, oh, there we go. Okay. When I'm doing something like grass, I've got 3 colors. I didn't even look to see what 3 colors I grabbed. I just grabbed 3 colors. We can even throw, you know what? I will grab the awkward. I'll take that one out. No, I'll keep that one in. So the 420 can feel really, really awkward, but here we go. So I normally, when coloring an image, start with the lightest. When I go to make grass, I pull my darkest. And this is flicking. And all it is, see how like I'm keeping it super, super, super loose. So it's short, long directions. He's jumping, so I'm not gonna let the grass touch his foot. So that's beginning of it, and here's where I have to do this. So to get it to go off the paper, because grass will go off the paper, I do a second layer of the darkest, just kind of upside down to get more. There you go. I know, it doesn't look good yet. I'm gonna take this awkward green here. Same thing, just add flicks. And then I'm gonna really cheat. Yeah, I just draw a line at the bottom to seal it off with that mid-tone. And now I'm gonna take my lightest, which actually isn't that light. And again, go on top of it. And it's really just about layering and keeping that like frenzy freeness to it. There you go. So if you look back in my little sample card, can you see that really beautiful atmosphere I've got going here? I'm going to do the same thing with the atmosphere. I'm going to show you how to make the atmosphere. And it's so easy. And it looks hard. It's not. It's super easy. So I'm going to take that lightest blue, is that 425. I'm going to take the chisel on it. We're going to ignore my arrow. And I'm literally, I mean, we're talking. You can see how precise and concerned I am with precision. The only place I really kind of care is on the corners that my curve is kind of pretty. There you go. So there's the blue atmosphere, and I know it doesn't look good. Now I have to go into my giant pile here. I'm gonna spend an hour cleaning up markers. Take the chisel, not the chisel, take the bullet nib and pull in. Like I said, on that hard line is where I'm going to spend a lot of attention, but I'm going to pull it all the way in. And use a little bit less towards the edge of the card. So the alcohol's still drying here, but can you see that? Can you see how cool that atmosphere is? So all the way around. And again, it doesn't take long. I'm sorry, I got quiet. I shouldn't get quiet. I was just enjoying the process. I like the magic of this. I think the blender pen, I mean, you can do under the water. You can do all kinds of cool things. Let me pull this up a little bit. Now, I normally would take just really not a whole lot more, but a little bit more time with this and kind of concentrate and make sure there's no hard lines. But for brevity, like, see how easy it was just to create a simple atmosphere? And that's all I did here. It's the exact same technique to create this. So now I haven't wasted a ton of ink. I didn't have to pull out a brand new, like I didn't have to pull out my Distress Oxidase or something to blend edges around. I just pulled my marker out and gave it a slight atmosphere. Now, somebody was saying that they didn't think they could color. They're worried about blending. There's a way to cheat. There's a collection of stamps. Let me pull this off my screen. There's a collection of stamps. And you may not have seen them. It's this handful of stamps is the only thing Kay carries. It's Craft Consortium, and Kay, I can't remember for the life of me where it's from, but it's international. It's probably like Polish. It's probably, anytime I can't remember where something is from, it's Polish. See, I'm looking at the back. I can't remember. But when you stamp these out, they have incredible stamp marks. Like, the little hedgehog is all detailed. So it's got some really, really incredible stamp marks. So you can cheat your coloring super well. It's UK. Thank you, Kay. It's a UK stamps. You can totally cheat your coloring here. Let me pull out, okay. I'm pulling out one of the natural browns. It's the lightest color in the natural browns. And two of the fair skins. By the way, don't let this fool you. This doesn't color fair skins. And if you guys want to see how I would color a different range of skin tones using the Nuvos, let us know in the comments. And we will, at a later date, I'll come back in with stamp sets of people and color a whole rainbow of humans using just the Nuvos to show you how you can get a beautiful rainbow of human skin tones. I love this stamp set. This is the Winter Friends stamp set. It's a kind of winter. I don't feel it's too wintry. Like, it could be spring. They have the cutest Christmas stamps, and I was going to pull out a Christmas stamp to color up for this, and Kay was like, no, it's not Christmas time. Don't color the Christmas stamps. So around December, I will be breaking them out and showing those. Okay, we'll set up a time where I definitely do the skin tones, because the Nuvos will actually do a gorgeous range of skin tones. It's just not this fair skin collection. No, it doesn't work. But for the deer, for those of you who think you can't blend, let me show you. Let me totally cheat this one for you. So the deer's feet in theory are dark, right? So I'm going to take this dark brown and just flick it up and through his legs. And again, if I get out of the lines, I can simply pull out my blender pen and kind of help myself. Now in those really dark shadows, I'm going to take some of the, I would imagine he's got some dark shadows around his bump. And this stamp set shows you where the dark shadows are. So like where there's a congregation of stamp lines, you have dark colors. So I'm going to throw a little there. I'm going to give a little on the side of his face, some up in his ears, along his face here, and down around his nose. So there you go. There's his shadow. And like I said, I'm trying to look at Kay's comment and I can't do it. We've got two more sets in this woodland line. Oh yeah, there are two more different sets. There's another deer, another really cute deer, and hedgehogs? No, the hedgehogs I'm thinking of are more cartoony. How to do this? Okay. I'm going to take my mid-tone. Now I need to test my mid-tone. Okay, that's the orangey colored one. And that's the yellow colored one. Neither of those to me are skin tones. But I don't know anybody who's orange. I know people who are a little bit more yellow, but not orange. But it is deer color. So I'm going to drop that orange in. So yes, for anybody who thinks they can't color, get a really great stamp set. You get the right stamp set with perfect, beautiful stamp markings, you can totally cheat your coloring. Because you'll notice, I'm not doing anything special here. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to take it up into the shadows. I'm going to take it up through the arm. I'm going to kind of model this up here. And bring it into his face a little bit, around the nose, into the ears. He's so cute. By the way, don't look at my hedgehog. He's really, here. He's very badly colored. I apparently forgot what color hedgehogs were and thought they were deep brown. They're not. So there you go. There's the mid-tone. And I'm not doing any work here. I'm letting the stamp set do all the work. And just bringing in that lightest color. So I've got one more stamp set I can pull out and show some color combinations. If anybody wants to see me blend any of the color combinations, let me know. It doesn't matter which one it is. Here, I'll even, that's my favorite mix. Kind of pop that up there for you. And like I said, I will take a picture of all my sample sets and put them up on the White Rose Craft blog and put them up on my blog so you can, again, I'm not the genius here, but look, how cute did he turn out? And there's nothing super fancy about him. Now, I don't like something I did. So now I'm going to take my dark color and go in and fix what I don't like. He should have a little bit more shadowing in a couple places. So once you think you've colored it, you can go back in and correct. And I will tell you, if I was coloring this with my Copics, I would have trouble just kind of throwing color down. I like these markers because you can really, really throw color quickly. Like there's no precision. So there you go. I don't know. I love these Craft Consortium, and I'm probably saying that 1,000 times wrong. Kay's probably slamming her things and her head into the walls because Consortium. I'm dyslexic. I color for a reason. So yes, in the sky here, yes, see, I'm going to continue covering them. The sky here, I did with that aqua combination I love, which I think, oh no, it's right here. And I totally just cheated it. This is the most beautiful combination of teals. And I know Allison's a teal girl. So I'm taking literally just the chisel edge. So yes, I have a line there. I'm going to solve that line problem in a second. Ta-da! Line problem solved. So I've got the, nope, that's the youngest color. There's the middle tone. I'm going to take the middle tone and come back in right at the edge. See how I'm only barely starting a new row here? And go a couple times over and then pull it down. And, oh wait, I'm coloring straight into my stamped. Ah! By the way, I didn't stamp for any of you because I am notoriously the world's worst stamper. Even with a stamping platform, even with two different types of stamping platforms, I'm not a good stamper. If you look at, I don't know, one of my stamp sets is completely double stamped, and I was using a stamping platform. Yes, this is, it's not blue, this is the aquamarine. This is the teal color, and I love it. I can't wait for summer, and I can pull out mermaids and totally mermaid up. I know, you're thinking, ah, the deer's here, Erin, what are you doing? AK, that's a crazy idea, ah. You know, just hold on, we'll be fine. There we go. And see how easy that was to create kind of a background? Now I'm going to pull out, oh, it's in here. We're playing Where's the Marker? I'm going to want that. No. You all can laugh at me. It's fine. I'm used to being laughed at. I have 3 children, one of which is a teenager, and one of them's almost a teenager. So I'm going to pull that back out, that lightest gray again, that feather gray. And just kind of hit the lightest color with it a little bit. Pull that down. Now I am going to be a little bit more careful of the deer here because the ears I can fix. There you go. Now I'm going to take the blender. Exact same thing. Definitely not hitting inside the deer with the blender or I would lose. Because I am super heavy-handed here. So I'm aware I'm using this aquamarine for the sky color behind the deer. But if you wanted to do, say, an ocean scene with it, take your blender. And you can make ocean bubbles. Also, if it was a nighttime, you can make stars. Give it a second and the stars will come out. So yeah, the blender does some magical stuff. So yeah, there's my little ocean bubbles. Okay, I gotta be a little more deliberate with the stars. There's the stars. See? Like magic. Now, I colored over his ears and people are like, ah, his beautiful, beautiful ears. Nope. Just pulling back out the color I used for Bambi here. And bring it back in. And again, I colored right over the leaves. No big deal. Just gonna pull out my green here. And what color is that? I'm looking for a green that will blend nicely into this. There we go. Oh, snow. You can also make beautiful snow with the blender. See, again, not doing anything real super fancy here. But it's okay that I colored my background over the leaves because I was able to drop the color into the leaves, no problem. Same with the brown or the acorns. That is one of the reasons I love alcohol coloring so much, because it is far more forgiving than most people realize it is. And these two colors don't even blend well and they look great here. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier because I'm going with a really light color into that teal, but with just a touch of work, I can get it to where I want it. And I pulled it too high up here. Just putting it back in. And then I'm going to totally cheat and color the hedgehog, not badly. I'm now dropping markers on the floor because I'm not putting them back with him. I'm putting the aqua back. Putting them back. Where are my grays? Okay, these are the three grays that actually go together. They may not even be the three grays that go together. Let's see, 87, 89, nope. We'll make it work. Hedgehogs are like brown and, thank you, Allison. But I know you're a teal girl, so I can make anything look pretty to you just by using a whole bunch of teal. It's super easy to create this guy. And I will tell you, often when you're coloring with alcohol markers, there's an ugly phase. You just gotta push through the ugly phase. Is he even a hedgehog? Is he a raccoon? Like, I don't even know what this guy is. I just thought he was cute, so I stamped him on my paper. So, on my sample here, I'm going to give up on him because it's just not going to happen for me tonight. You know, there's every once in a while that thing that you're blocked coloring. Apparently, this guy is it. Aw, thank you, Allison. That's very sweet of you. I am blown away by with what Allison does. By the way, in 2 weeks, on the 23rd of March, Allison will be back with Try It Tuesdays, but playing with more grunge. So we are, White Rose Crafts is going to start Try It Tuesdays, where on the first Tuesday of the month, I come in with coloring mediums and stamps and just play around with coloring. I'm giving up on him. I play around with coloring. Allison's coming in on the third Tuesdays of the month. March is funny because there's 5 Tuesdays in the month, so we went with 2 and 4, but it's 1 and 3. 1 and 3. On the third Tuesday of the month, Allison's coming in and playing with all kinds of mediums and going mixed media on us. So on this one, I did the grass, but I showed you how to do the grass earlier. So I want to show you how to do snow. Because I think snow's really, really fun, and a lot of people think it's really, really hard. And the key to snow is blue. Now I have to find my blue. So I got the feather gray, which is my lightest gray. There it is. And I'm actually going to cheat and pull a little purple. So, okay, pencil. I'm going to create a horizon line, not even a good one. So, there we go. Horizon lines. Horizon lines need to be behind your images. Oh, Annie, thank you. That's very sweet. Horizon lines need to be behind your subject matter. If I were to draw the horizon line right at the bottom of their feet, it'd look weird. So I'm going to take a bit, and I'm going to actually use the chisel, a bit of this really pale blue and go over my pencil mark. Okay. And then pull it, and pull it down. Trying so hard to keep my hand out of, so you guys can really see what the bullet nib's doing. There we go. So there's the beginning of snow. I'm going to take this purple. It is such a pink purple. That's not the one I want. Let's see. Is this the one I want? Yeah, that's the one I want. And by the way, this is the one I use. I use this color when making flesh tone, believe it or not. So I'm going to come back in here and drop some horizon. This is just horizon shadow for snow. I'm going to take some of the blue and go back into that purple. And for everybody who's starting to think this is advanced stuff, this is not. This is called messing around long enough that you figure out tricks. I'm not going to lie, coloring is all about doing. Having 1,000 ones that you hate. And ending up with one you love. Now I'm taking the lightest gray here and just blending up into my snow lines. Again, not advanced technique. This is scribbling, guys. Your kindergartners can do this. I don't know, does anybody have kindergartners? Kay's just dropped an opinion poll into the comments. I don't know what she's asking because it's a lot of words. Okay, I will stop and read. Quick opinion poll. Sometimes, too often, in fact, we get new products in and the graphic images supplied to the wholesale companies do not do them justice. Would you be interested in my opening up some of them online so you can better... Now I have to click. Tammy says yes. Opening some of them up so you can get a better look at what they are really like if you can stand listening to my British voice. Oh, her British voice is excellent. And then you'll start using phrases like darling and bullocks. Talking to Kay is fun. My vocabulary expands. Okay, so I just grabbed colors that I'm not using. I have lavender sky. I have sky blue. And I have feather gray. Now I'm taking the blender pen. And actually, I'll just go ahead and use the chisel. And I'm going to blender pen over all the color. Not my Bambi's legs. And to finish the snow, Which gray is this? I don't want that gray. Which gray is this? Oh, too dark, too dark. Can you see my cheat sheet? There's my cheat sheet. That won't work. So to finish this little guy off, I'm going to drop shadows in. So I'm dropping a little shadow onto him. I'm going to pull out the feather gray and pull that even further out. So it becomes, you know, like your shadow becomes hazy the further it is from you. And again, oh, that's not my blender pen. I'm going to take the chisel of my blender pen and around the edge of the shadow, blend it out a little bit. Snow! See, I like it. Super simple. Can simply do it with your markers. Find it incredibly, oh, thank you, Allison. Put a little bit of snow. If you end up like me and you stamping isn't enough, here's a fun trick. Take, like I'm gonna just take a brown and I'm gonna pull it off, and then I'm going to drop in some more brown around. There you go. And I'm simply going to take a pen. This is my Kelly Creates calligraphy pen. Kay carries these. And they are great. You can't color over them, but they are great finishing pens because you can get really nice fine lines. Actually, I can make that a little thicker. I can't do calligraphy, just so you know. I keep calligraphy pens solely to take notes. There you go. I made that branch work. Super, where is the color? I got color on it again. Ugh. And that is why I have a blender pen, which I currently own. It's this one. By the way, every time you think you lose it, your blender pen's white. Yeah, I got a little fingerprint in it again. Well, now we're definitely in snow, so. I did not intend to color a snow scene tonight, since I don't know, does anybody currently have snow? I live in Florida, so I haven't had snow all year. We're currently 4 seasons in one day. I wake up to winter and 45 degrees. By 9 o'clock, it's spring. By 2 o'clock, it's summer. And by sunset, it's fall again. So I do 4 seasons in one day. Totally did not plan to color a snow scene, but it's one of the really cool things you can do with, and actually, I can make it even cooler. Let me shake this up. We carry this in the shop. White Rose carries it. This is the sheer shimmer spray. It's in frost. Blame Allison. She got me addicted to this stuff. I have it in frost. I have it in silver. And I have it in gold. But gold and silver would look funny. I turned my light off. I'm sorry. Okay, so finish coloring. Shake it up. You can always tell it's ready to go when the bottom's clear again. Like totally saturate it with the shimmer spray. Put your finger in it a couple times because that's what we do around here. That's how I roll in the Shire. Clean your mat off. Yeah, I use golf towels to craft. Check that out. Let's see if I can get it to shimmer in real life. Can you guys see how sparkly and fantastic that is? This stuff is amazing. I think Allison even turned Kay onto this. This stuff is incredible. I have just took a piece of flat, yes, by the way, you do color through the paper. A piece of flat Nina paper and turned it into a gorgeous piece of metallic paper simply by spraying it. And when it finishes drying, it will lay flat again. Or if you put some adhesive on the back, just ignore him because he's not good. Yeah, it's all Allison's fault and it's amazing actually. So yes, there you go. There's the unintended winter scene. And I'm going to pull the sample out I did earlier just to show you. because we've gone over the hour mark. I apologize. We're trying to keep these at an hour, so but this is the floral frames from Woodware. If you're looking for a really great spring floral stamp, let me see, I've got it right here. I have it right here. If you're looking for a great floral stamp, it's got some beautiful pansies in it. I own this because my sorority's flower was pansies, and still to this day. But I colored this one up today so you could see a bunch of the different really beautiful color combinations. So that is the royal pink. That's the coral reef I did earlier. This up here is the fragrant orange. This is the, and this may be a combination of several colors because I may have cheated. It's the Parma violet. Oh no, it is the Parma violet. I did it true blue. This is the Marini blue. This is the woodland greens here. So I colored this just up so you had kind of a really cool collection of colors. But Floral Frames is the stamp set. Oh, and I needed a sentiment. I couldn't leave it without a sentiment. So I used the Crafter Companion. When you can't find sunshine, be the sunshine. But I thought that was pretty. So there we go. I'm going to pull out. That one I did today. That one we did together. My desk is completely and utterly messy. We did that together, but he's actually kind of better. So I'm going to bring him out. Let's see. Can I get everybody on here? Both the Woodware stamps that EK has used tonight, I feel like this is important that Kay has written, are down to $5. Yes, if you've never checked out the Woodware collection, it's a UK collection, check it out. They are gorgeous stamps. If you like coloring, they are beautiful, beautiful stamp sets. Where's the other one I did? Where's my first one? I turned it into a card, so that's probably why I can't find it. There he is. So there you go. I will be back next month. I know next month we're going to do a little watercoloring. Like, that's the plan for next month, is to do some watercoloring with distress oxides and to share how easy it is to watercolor with distress oxides, and that you don't actually need an expensive watercolor palette to get beautiful, beautiful watercoloring. So that's it for me tonight. White Rose Crafts has a lot of really cool things coming up. Next week, we are joining up with the Coffee Lovers Hop, so stay tuned for that. And with the Coffee Lovers Hop, we are releasing a brand new coffee-themed kit. It goes on sale. The unboxing video opens on the 16th. It goes on pre-sale on the 16th and goes on sale on the 18th. So next minute. Oh, now hold on for 2 minutes while I draw for prizes. Oh, I can keep talking while she draws for prizes. So yes, next week is the Coffee Lovers Hop. It's from the 18th to, it runs for about a week. And it's a different group that does it, but we are a sponsor for it. And if you participate in the Coffee Lovers Hop, we are gifting one of the kits. Last year the whole world shut down. 2 years ago, we participated in the Coffee Lovers Hop with a coffee-themed kit. And it sold out in days. Like, it was literally gone, I think 3 or 4 days. So if you are a coffee lover, this kit's really, really cool. It's sitting behind me on my other desk, and I am not going to show you because that would be cheating. But it's really, really cool and really beautiful. So next week's Coffee Lovers Hop. On the 23rd, Allison is back with more. Yeah, it did sell out so fast. Allison is back on the 23rd with another Try It Tuesday, showing us grunge. Allison, I can't remember what you're doing this month, but I think she's breaking out thick mediums. So like your medium, the different mediums that Kay's carrying. I may be mistaken, but I genuinely believe she's playing with the thick pasty stuff this month. She's been working with the jelly. Oh, it's still oh, that's right. It's Jelly Press Petite. You're playing with Jelly Press Petite. Here comes Kay with the raffle. Also, to keep on your radar, White Rose Craft, a lot of the designers on the White Rose Craft team are joining in on an Instagram and YouTube hop. So it's not through us. We're not running the hop. We're just joining in and participating, and we're sponsoring. The Easter stamp set goes to Tammy. Woohoo! So yes, on the 27th, a bunch of us are joining in. Is the hop is to bring awareness to autoimmune disease. And I will tell you, not only do I have autoimmune disease, we have several members of this design team who suffer from the same chronic illness. I have one of those invisible pain diseases. Nobody knows I'm in pain because I look normal, but yet my joints hurt all the time. The Nuvo Marco set goes to Tara. Tara, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I can say O'Brien. Tara, I'm guessing it's Tara, but I could be wrong. So Nuvo set goes to Tara. Yay! Congratulations, Tara. And what else do we have this month? I think that's all the big stuff we have this month. I will be back next month on the first Tuesday. Allison's coming back on the 23rd of this month for another Try It Tuesday. And we're going to encourage Kay to start opening up paper packs and show us how cool it is. I think the plan is... Oh, the Millionaire stamp goes to Michelle. Yay! I've been watching Muppets today. I am really sorry. I've got my Kermit voice. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. Come back next month. Share what you're creating in the gallery. Even if you're not confident, like if you want tips, you're like, hey, I colored this up. What am I doing wrong? Like the design team will jump in and totally help. We're not snobby. I mean, we're snobby about what products we use, but we're not snobby about how other people use things. And the crafting community is such a giving, beautiful community. So share what you're doing in the Whitecraft Gallery. Not only will the design team be around to help, like, give tips and pointers, we also, if you are sharing lots of cool stuff and we spot you, you run the chance of winning a prize pack of papers and stamps and things like that. Don't forget to message Kay if you want a prize, and thank you everybody for tuning in. That's it for me tonight. Thank you guys. I'll be back next month. Oh, and I will post my cheat sheets. I've got a ton of them. I'll post all my cheat sheets up on both my blog tomorrow morning and the White Rose Crafts blog so you can see them. Thanks, guys.